was trying not to get any shadows, but oh, okay, maybe back here. Okay, where to start? Okay, I'll start off with the event that I went to. I was swindled a little bit, but I guess it was my fault. I got hyperfixated on the words Beyonce and Celebrate 6th birthday party. So I thought in my fantasy we were sipping cocktails while Renaissance was on blast, and there was like a dance floor in the middle for people to be instructed and guided through, like shaking their ass. And I got there and the room was really small and there was way too many people there, and it was just a really disorientating, disorderly dance class. The instructor is like joking around or whatever, like I'm just like standing there waiting for the next instructions. And I guess if like I went with like friends already, I'd be talking amongst them, but it was just like, it's too hot for this. Like there wasn't, the windows weren't open, the air conditioning wasn't on my side of the room, it was really tight in there, and I was just getting very hot. I lotioned way too much. I just felt like my outfit wasn't breathable, my skin wasn't breathing because of all the oil I put on it. One of the reasons why I went out is because I thought I was gonna make friends, like-minded people that liked the Renaissance album, but they played one Beyonce song, and it made me really appreciate my online dance class. I've been using Steezy Studio, and they're so focused, and being able to rewind, being able to slow it down. I've just been doing like the warm-ups and the dance workouts, not the choreo yet, but it's just really nice. Like I really appreciate home dance classes now, having had that experience. And like, let me tell you, I did not dress for the occasion. Let's talk about making friends. The first lady I spoke to, she was from Spain, and we were smiling so widely at each other. And it's like, because we started off so high, we had to continue that way. And it's like every time we're just saying the minorest thing, like, oh, like I took the bus here, oh, like the journey wasn't too long, we're just like forced smiling. And it's like, it gets to a point where like I feel like I'm doing this entire drawing of how I felt, and it is draining, like having to smile so widely after every sentence so you don't seem mean, so it doesn't seem like it's bad vibes. It's so draining. Even the instructor, I just felt like the jokes were too much. Like it's nice if it's sprinkled in a little bit, it makes us think that like you're good vibes, like this is fun, you're humorous, but I felt like it was just too much. And it's like she's turning around and I feel like I have to smile, I feel like I have to be like giggling at her jokes so I don't seem like I'm bad vibes. But it's like, it's draining. And I'm really appreciating being able to do things in solitude because I can be real, I can be my authentic self. Because the thing about going into those places where a safe space is trying to be cultivated, a place of acceptance, you have to, I feel like I have to turn up the heat to a level that I otherwise wouldn't do. Dare I say fake. Like by the end of it, I was hot, I was drained, I felt like I was doing that. And then when I was on the bus home, it got me thinking, like, do I just like not like socializing? We're in a group talking and it's like, oh, can I get your number? And it's like, we didn't really hit off in person, so it's like, what, like texting is another level of like miscommunication, to put it lightly. And it's like, I just felt sleazy. Like, I know it's like not that deep, but it's like collecting people's numbers when you aren't so friendly with them. I feel like I feel like these guys that just want to make their black book bigger, their little black book bigger. It doesn't feel good to me. And it's like, I also don't want to be like those people that are like, oh, and I wait for them to come to me, they are the bees and I am the pollen. But it's a lot. I was disappointed in the type of event it was. I feel like if I went prepared for a dance class, it would have been a lot different. I would have dressed different and I would have been a lot more patient with the instructor. Because I went for like more of like a cocktail, like we're listening to the album and there's a dance floor type thing, it just wasn't the vibe for me. It was not the vibe. Like, texting with like LOL and explanation points and smiley faces to seem like friendlier. I'm tired of like having a big smile in response to everything a new person says. It's a lot. It's very, very draining. On the bus home, I was so disappointed and so drained. I just felt like, it's socialization not for me? Like, am I actually just a hermit? And I was like, no, it was one event. It was one event and I wasn't prepared for what I actually went to. So it's fine, I guess. I'm getting to a place of like consistency of doing the online ones. I don't think I can go back to doing them in person. It's very unfocused and it's very like, I just wish it was more streamlined, but I get that if you're there with your friends and it's just you're all having a good time. Another thing with dance is like, I like flowing with the music, but I'm not so good at like actual coordination. So when it comes to steezy, even with the dance workout, some of the moves I'm still struggling with. Even in the warm-up, some of these lunges, some of these like Pilates things, it's still a struggle. But it's like right now, I'm just focusing on getting that strength, that flexibility, that coordination from the workouts to be able to do the choreo, because I cannot pick up choreo right now. Like I'll be real, I cannot pick up choreo. Actually, no, let me not say that because but like actual like real, it's difficult. I find it difficult, but I guess it's just part of the learning process. Going there, I was thinking about dancing. Ooh, let me say, because I thought it was gonna be more of like a party, we sip cocktail while they play Renaissance type vibe, I was going ham at home rehearsing. I was practicing voguing, my dark walk, my everything. I thought there was gonna be more space to just like be free with it. I thought it was gonna be a lot more like Renaissance-y. In a part of my dream, I was at the type of gathering that I thought I would have been going to, and it wasn't fulfilling. It wasn't fulfilling. I don't know if now, like, I don't know if now is the time to be integrating myself into social groups, because I'm not even in my final form. I'm not where I want to be. Like, I want to be a lot more skilled in my dancing, my singing. I want to be a lot more confident. I want to have a YouTube career. Like, I want my career to speak for me. I don't want to have to be putting myself out there, because all of the smiling, all of the like putting my energy at 150, it's not me, and it's not how I want to be making friends. And I don't feel like people that I'm actually going to connect to need all of that from me. I was saying to my partner, it's like retail but worse, because at least when I'm smiling at people at my retail job, there's a degree of separation because I'm at work. But it's like when you're just sitting next to someone at like a function, it's like, this does not end. This does not end. Every time you speak to me now, I have to give you the biggest smile ever. There's just a lot of pressure. It's a lot of pressure, and keeping up with that is so draining. By the end of it, I felt so low, and it was such a struggle just to stop myself from sinking, because I got that like my shadow side trying to be like, oh, you shouldn't have went, oh, you wore like this, oh, they think you're this, all that. And I just had to be like, no, I'm just mentally and physically drained, and I just need rest. I just need rest. If I need to cry, let me cry. I just need to chill, but I don't need to beat myself down deeper. Like, it was a struggle to like push that off, but I'm glad that I'm getting to a place in my self-love journey that when I'm low, I can understand that it's like a drainage of my battery and not like a reason to talk myself onto the ledge. Use anything in my surroundings to reaffirm my unworthiness. I was in the park the other day and I started acknowledging my appetite for darkness, and I noticed that my sight started coming back. This is gonna sound, you know what, I don't care. If it resonates, it resonates. If it's woo-woo, it's woo-woo. I don't care. I started acknowledging my appetite for darkness and my sight started coming back. What I mean by that is like I'm looking up at the sky and I'm seeing waves of energy converging into one point, and it's not opaque, like it's pretty transparent, so I can still see the sky behind it, but I'm seeing waves going into a point. I don't know what it means. I don't know. I don't have all the answers, but I feel like it's me becoming more aware, because when I was on streams in Amsterdam, I wasn't in Amsterdam, I was in Utrecht, but Holland, like I was able to see the energy come out of the sky into the trees, into the water, and then back up. And then even the two ladies that came to speak to me, seeing how big their eyes were, seeing the energy flow out of their hair, and then coming back down, I'm like, oh, so like all of this like cube shit, this is the fake shit. The real shit is like behind that shit, because I'm in this body. It's like real to me to be both a being of light and darkness. So today I was doing my meditation and I couldn't get through it because I was just like, ugh. It's like, peel back the layers. I want to shine now bright as the sun. And it's like, I need to like live for higher purpose. And it's like light. But there's not really much resources for spirituality that involves the dark side. Because coming out of Christianity, I'm very much used to like, oh, you just avoid all the dark, like it's of like the enemy and it's here to tempt you. Can you give him his other? Thank you. But now, like, I literally have a yin and yang symbol dream catcher that I like to stare at to ground myself, to remind myself. My partner will like reaffirm that I'm a good person. Sometimes I just like take it, but other times I'm like, I don't pride myself on being a good person, because there's like in my head I am both good and bad, I am both dark and light, duality and two things existing as one. I am both feminine and masculine, and I want to understand what it means to embody the dark side in a way that some teachings that are like, you can't actually fully progress or be like your higher self until you embody both light and dark. And I want to avoid all of the like satanic imagery because I feel like it's gimmicky and I feel like it's fairly new, dare I say, and it's just very caricature for me. I want it to be like, okay, my shadow side is the one that has a problem with things, has a distaste for things, has a disgust for things. Slowly welcoming her in rather than trying to like bat it all out and trying to like put a cage around it and starting a war with that side. Just seeing what they have to say. Okay, I don't want to, I don't like this, and I don't want to do this, and I don't want to do that. And it's like bringing those things home. Like there's a piece that comes with that, because it's like, hey, like that's me and this is what I want to be doing. And it's like, if I'm here to be the creator of my own reality, if I'm here to become the most complete version of myself, why wouldn't I have to welcome all parts of myself? I don't agree with shutting out criticism. Inner criticism, I feel like it should be welcomed and there should be a discussion. I like to view my mind as like different people at like a long council table. If you think of it like Rick and Morty, the Citadel, like that room with the President Morty and the different Ricks. I don't know how, no, let me run with this example, because if you relate it back to the Citadel, my body, like the stuff that be operating my bones and my veins and my nervous system and all of that, they would be the civilization. And there's like certain groups have more power, should I say, or they get listened to more by my government than other parts. For example, my heart, my main organs, my sexual organs, they're more likely to get listened to than like my elbows. Like we're all part of this society, but there isn't equality. I mean, I'll be real, there isn't. Like, I'm not gonna give the same attention to my wrists that I do my breasts. Like, it's just different. And when it comes to the part in my mind, I like to think of it as allowing people to have a seat at the table, allowing people to like voice their concerns at the mic, and then as a government they discuss it and see what they're gonna like put on the announcement to the rest of my body. For example, Miss Anxiety, we don't like to shut her out anymore because she just gets louder and louder and louder and more destructive, and she becomes a terrorist. We don't do that. We allow Miss Anxiety in to sit down and be like, okay, this and this and this is worrying, and then we have someone else that's able to translate it like out of the anxious lens and be like, okay, this part of it is like, this part is not valid, but this part is like actually concrete, and this part, yes, we can solve this by this, and this is out of our control, but this is in our control. And then we get to a consensus that we can now broadcast to the rest of my body, and it's like, now there's peace. Now we aren't tense because we're trying to push Miss Anxiety out, because the more we push her out, the more aggressive she becomes. I like to personify my anxiety because it's a issue I've been trying, not an issue, let me catch myself. It's a part of myself that I've been trying to love and integrate into the wholeness of my being. It's like that. It looks like that. There was a lady that I was not speaking to. I was watching a video, she was having a debate. There was a Christian and then this lady that I believed in, like, I don't want to say just spirituality because it's so wide, but they have different debates on this talk show regarding witchcraft, regarding chakras, regarding demons. And there was one that she was speaking about, the Christian, he put out his views about demons, and then she came back with, no demon exists outside of you that doesn't already exist within you. Your universe outside is a reflection of your universe within. And that resonated with me because I believe we are a reflection of our outer universe. And I look at the times when I was in church, like different pastors saying, oh, you can't wear this and you can't wear that and you can't wear that because then you're tempting the brothers. But it's like, you have self-control. Like you actually have self-control. Why is your lust now my problem? And it's like, they are very much they're speaking about things of lust because that's what lives within them. Like another example, what's another one? Lust is a big one because I suffered a little condemnation from my brother because he had this promiscuous time, and then when he was in church he just became very, very condemning. And it's like, these demons are so prevalent in your outer universe because it's reflecting your inner universe. Like if you have to be constantly preaching about fornication, if you have to be constantly preaching about this specific subject, it shows what's happening inside of you. Because someone else, they're not worrying about that. They're just trying to get their money right. They're identifying as asexual. Like it's not in their mind, and it's not in their universe. Your universe outward is a reflection of your universe inward. So going back to what she said, no demon exists outside of you that doesn't exist within you. Having these different parts of myself actually allowed a seat at the table and an opportunity to speak and an opportunity for their concerns to be integrated into my wider being is helping me tremendously. So we're gonna do more studying about how to love your shadow side, how to embrace your darker side, because it's the yin to your yang, it's the negative to the positive, the femme to the masculine, duality, everything, two sides of the same coin. And I know it seems like I'm drawing lines between things that aren't the same, but the way I understand these things is that they complete each other. They're two parts of the same whole. And let me clarify, when I say femme and masc, I'm not saying man and woman. I believe I am both feminine and masculine. My masculine energy, that's from A to B, it's direct. It moves like a tank. It can be too controlling. It can be a workhorse. It functions well in our society, versus my feminine side, my creative side, my intuitive side, my emotional side, my side that isn't so well articulated with words, but it's feelings based, it's felt. versus my mask, my analytical side, my critical side, the part that's very good with communicating with language. Like, I'm both feminine and masc because they're not gender roles like society has made them. They're just two different types of energy that come together to create every being, every being, every being. I was being paranoid one day and I thought that my partner saw my password, and then I changed it very, very quickly, and then I forgot my password, and then I had an entire day of trying to break into my own phone, and every time I was getting it was going from like 1 hour locked out to 3 hours locked out. My Apple ID number was linked to my old phone number, and it just was very, very long. And I remember I drew an artwork, I'm gonna insert it on the screen, and I was like, the biggest enemy I have is myself. I locked myself out of my own stuff. I'm having to erase all my data because of me. Nobody else did it but me. I did it to me. And if I see it as us all being one being, every obstacle that I face is the like strength training I need to be where I need to be. There was a lady, she was teaching about pain. I didn't fully understand. The way I took it was that the pain is here to facilitate change. The pain is here to facilitate growth. Like, the pain is an unwanted feeling, but once you come out of the other side of that, it's putting you where you want it to be. For example, if you pray and say, I want to be stronger, or I want to be this, or I want to be that, you're going to face an adversity, a challenge that's going to force you to become more like that. I'm seeing it in... I can't even be vague and be like my relationships, because I only be speaking to one fucking person. Like, everything I want to be, I get a challenge, I get an obstacle that I have to overcome that gets me closer to what I've been wanting to be, even if it is a very uncomfortable process, even if it's a very stripping process, a very draining process. When that recharge happens, I'm in a better position. I'm closer to where I need to be. I want friends, but I don't want to socialize right now. I'll be real. I don't want to socialize right now. I just want to work on my channel and let that speak for itself. But if I find friends other ways, if I connect with people in other ways, then I welcome that. But I still don't know who I fully am yet. I'm still not fully where I want to be yet. Like, I look at myself and I know that in 5 years' time, I'm gonna see this me as a baby, like an actual baby. As much as I will speak with a conviction that comes across as I feel like I know everything, trust me and believe that I know that I don't know everything, that I know that I'm on a journey. And it's part of the reason why I don't wanna have too many friendships right now, because friendships is just sharing your life with another person, because it's like, what are you doing today? Going here together, sharing this together, creating memories together, building a life together. And it's like, when you're not aligned, it's so frictiony. I felt so out of place in my old friendship groups. When you're not aligned, it's such a drainage on you, and it holds you back. I believe it holds you back. So it's like, I am trying to get to where I need to be so that I can attract the right people, because if I'm not the right person, I'm not gonna attract the right people. I'm still a baby. I'm still figuring out how to live, how to function, how to be grounded but still spiritually aware, how to work with my fear, my anxiety, my insecurities, my childhood trauma that still persists even though I'm not in my mother's home. It's a lot to work through. And then on top of all of that, like, what do I actually like? What am I actually good at? What do I want to build? How do I want to operate? Because I have these intentions, but it's like the steps along the way I know I'm still a baby because they're not there yet. They're not there yet. So right now we're focused on healing my being and also growing my skills. On my notes page, I wrote that, oh my gosh, I used to be so jealous of this dancer. Her name's Casey Rice, and one of the reasons that like really like boosted my jealousy was because we were born on the exact same day. So like, as I'm here depressed in bed on my 18th, she's fucking jumping off a yacht into the ocean. And then I was watching videos of her like dancing as a child, and she was so talented. And I just was like, I was so angry. Like, why couldn't my mom put me in dance classes? Why can't I be homeschooled and dance? Like, why can't I have this, or why can't I have that? It was just rage. Anyway, now I'm understanding jealousy to be low vibrational inspiration. But what I was writing to myself was that I became very envious of her when I was 18. And it took me until 20 to actually have a consistent dance routine, a consistent stretching routine, like actually put it into practice. Like, what is it that does that? And then I was like, envy, it wishes for the result. Envy demands the result. Like, why can't I be there? Because it's not like I'm seeing her entire life. I'm not seeing the work she's putting in. I'm not seeing the rehearsals. I'm not seeing the emotional highs and lows. I'm just seeing what's being presented to me on YouTube, like the final products. Envy demands that, but it's like, drive understands the process of progress. Because when you discipline yourself without drive, you're just punishing yourself. Because there are times in that period when I'm like, okay, I want to get my splits. Casey knows how to split. Casey knows how to shoulder stand. And I'm writing down all of these things that I want to be able to do. But it's like, I'm not actually actualizing the amount of work, the amount of stretching, the amount of training that my body has to go through to be able to split, to be able to shoulder stand. And it's like, realizing how weak my arms were, how like malnourished I was, how stiff my body was, it just broke me. And it's like, discipline without drive is just punishment, because I'm waking up to like force myself to do these stretches and I'm not even in here for the long run. But when you have drive now, again, drive understands the process of progress. It's not demanding the results. It understands like, okay, a little bit here today and a little bit here tomorrow. It's happy to just be along for the journey. And when you have discipline and drive, that's when you actually start to see results. I'm finally starting to see results. And I'm glad I asked myself that question. Like, I've been jealous of dancers even before I was 18, even before, like, just seeing like Unity and Diversity when it would come up on Nickelodeon, musicals on Disney, like just the envy that I'd feel. Like, why did it take me so long to actually put it into practice? It was drive. I was missing drive. And a lot of patience needs to happen for like drive to be cultivated. I'd say that I know the term loving yourself has become such a like generic phrase, but understanding that I am my consciousness and my spirit and not my achievements, that helped as well. Because back then a lot of my envy was rooted in, I am unworthy because I'm not this, and I am unworthy because I'm not that, or I am not special because I'm not doing this, I'm not in front of this camera, I'm not at this event. But it's like understanding that that is not where your value comes from, and that your value comes from just being happy to be alive, just being comfortable in your body, holding space for others, healing yourself and contributing to the collective joy by just taking care of yourself. That helped tremendously. And I know that people talk about social media as if it's brought upon so much darkness, but it's given us so much transparency, being able to see that people that live in castles are also having the same mental health struggles as me. Like, it's helping the awareness, it's helping my awareness. I don't want to speak on the shadow side too tough until I have a bit more understanding, but that's what I'm working on now. Like, my appetite for darkness, what it actually means, the becoming more whole. One of the aspects of my dream today was like me being upset with the dust that was on my floor, both in my mother's home, and it was a hybrid between the studio I'm in now and my mother's home, and just the living situation. And I won't explain the other. No, should I say the other parts? I don't know, because when you vocalize dreams, they get lost in translation a little bit, because what you felt while you were in the dream is not the same way that I'm articulating it. Like, what my brain is using to represent certain things, if I mention those elements, they are gonna come with different connotations to the person that I'm talking to. What I want to say is, I can be satisfied with my current situation and unsatisfied in a way that is balanced. Because as I was doing the guided meditation that I didn't like get through, I was looking at my cat play with the other cat. They're like the same size now, so when they're like rolling around, they're literally a little ball. Just the light hitting me and just being like, this isn't so bad, you know? Like, where else would I be able to see this from my bed? Like, awareness shows you the different parts of heaven that are right in front of you. There's a balance to be had with being grateful for the present moment while also acknowledging the discomfort that strives for more. I'm really happy to be here. I'm really happy to be alive. I'm happy that I'm able to articulate myself in such a way. I'm happy that I'm comfortable speaking like this to the internet. I'm happy that I have control over my being, and I'm happy that what I ask for comes to me. Sometimes in ways that are painful, but it comes to me. I'm happy that I'm beginning to understand that I'm never truly alone. I'm happy that I'm understanding that I'm part of a collective. Oh, it's so cute.